Hello, I'm King Blandon and I'll be helping Denisa show you how to make poison ivy from hair to toe. I'd love to show you the entire repaint process, but unfortunately I filmed the majority at an angle that prevented that. Oops. But no worries, I still got plenty of tips that'll help you if you're new at this. Fair warning, repainting a doll's face is not easy. It's a three-dimensional surface, so if you can't draw on paper, chances are you can't draw on a doll's face either. Practice on paper first. After you remove the factory paint with acetone, you can move on to actually working on the repaint. Color pencils, paints, and markers are designed for paper, so that's the first challenge. You'll want to spray the face with at least 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear. Make sure you wait at least an hour before you start working, because the pencils do scratch the Mr. Super Clear if it's not completely dry. If you live in the US, you'll only find Mr. Super Clear on the internet, such in stores like eBay and Amazon. You'll want to sketch your design onto the doll first. I like to use this brown color pencil because it easily rubs onto the surface and distinguishes itself from the final black outline. You're free to use any brand of watercolor pencil, but I found that this brand works best because other brands just don't color rubber very well. Sketch lightly and slowly. Whatever detail you draw onto one side, I suggest to immediately draw onto the other side. I also like to turn the head upside down. This makes it easier to work with the left side because I'm right-handed, and any asymmetry instantly becomes noticeable. Once I finish sketching, I slowly and very carefully trace with a fine point black Sharpie. Warning! You can never, ever, ever erase Sharpie markers on this material. And if you try, it will smudge and permanently stain your doll's face. You can actually achieve a similar effect by dipping a watercolor pencil in water. The pigment dissolves and acts like paint, plus you can erase it later using a pink eraser. Once I got my outline, I erase any sketch lines with this basic pink eraser. Once the face is clean, I spray it with another 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear and work on the costume while it dries. Fast forward to after I'm done with the costume and I'm ready to finish the face. I'm using a lime green fine point oil-based Sharpie paint pen. I got it at Blick's art store. Unlike the Sharpie marker, you can actually erase this paint marker with acetone or nail polish. The technique I developed for using the paint marker, I call the dot technique because I literally make a ton of little tiny dots to cover up the whole whatever it is I'm covering up, in this case the iris. My white broke and that's why it spreads, but my green doesn't do that and gives me very clean lines. Once the white dries, I go back with my black Sharpie pen and retrace anything that the white went over. And this is the finished face. For Ivy's costume design, I looked at many comic book versions of the character, as well as the animated series, and just combined them into one. Basically, I just incorporated elements that I liked of each one, although it's mostly from the 90s Batman animated series. The base of the costume is very easy if you have a swimsuit for your doll, but if you need to make one, you can watch Denisa's video How to Make a Superhero, where I show you how to easily make a one piece because it's the base for so many female superhero costumes. To make Ivy's costume, I also used a black lace-like sequins fabric thing that I wrapped around the one piece to add the effect of leaves and flowers that so many of her designs have. I got this fabric at Michael's. I also used Master's Touch grass green acrylic paint from Hobby Lobby. It's a very pretty and saturated green. Many dark greens go a little bit gray, and this one doesn't. You'll also need super glue. This one specifically is the only one I found that worked on this material. It's from Staples. A paintbrush, water, glitter, and paper towels are of course necessities for this project. The first thing you'll want to do is paint the one piece while it's on an old doll because the paint makes the fabric rigid, tight, and molds it into whatever shape it is when it's painted. I was told by a lot of people that if you use fabric medium, this won't happen and the fabric will stay soft and flexible. However, I filmed this long before I was ever told that, so I haven't tried it, but there's a suggestion. I'll do it in the future and I'll let you know how it goes. While the paint is still drying, just spread it and cover it in glitter. Once the paint dries, you can spray it with Mr. Super Clear to seal it in place and keep it from falling off. To attach the sequins lace fabric thing, you'll need to remove the one piece, then sew it along the back seam right next to the Velcro. Once you do this, put the one piece back onto the doll and use super glue to wrap the fabric all around nice and tight around her body. Because you're gluing fabric to glue, the super glue is actually not strong enough to hold the fabric in place forever. You'll have to carefully remove the costume and sew it in place. Just like last time, follow the back seam, but this time on the other side. Once everything is sewn in place, just take some scissors and carefully shape it so that it's in the shape of the one piece. You can use stop fray glue to keep the fabric from ripping. I removed the body paint with acetone. Acetone does melt the plastic that the bodies are made of if you apply too much pressure, so you need to do it very gently and only go in one direction. To create their shoes, all I did was pick some shoes that I liked, painted them green, and then covered them with glitter, and once the paint dried, sprayed it with Mr. Super Clear to seal it. The necklace was actually a bracelet, just like the shoes, paint, covered in glitter, and there you go. The cuffs I made using a straw. Detach the doll's hands, then shove the straw up as high as you want them, and then just cut the excess off, just like everything else paint, and then cover it up in glitter. And now the doll hair expert, Denisa Medrano.
Separate the front hairline. Secure this section using a clip. Separate the part hair on the doll's left side, along with approximately 2 rows of hair. Secure this section using a clip. Brush the remaining section down. Separate the crown hair approximately 3/4 inches from the front hairline. And grab approximately 3 to 4 stitches of hair. Place a clip below in order to keep this hair smooth. Now grab your front section, which was separated from the left side of the front hairline. And secure to the small section of hair using a rubber band. Okay, and in order to get this section nice and tight, you can take a look at the ponytail here. Grab the longer section, which is the first section that we separated from the crown area, the few stitches of hair. If you grab that hair and you hold on to the rubber band, pull it, it will bring it tighter towards the head. Go ahead and use a little hairspray. Okay, so I'm going to add a little twist here just to give it a little more of a styled look. Go ahead and grab the right side of the separated part hair, smooth it out, and twist inward. 1, 2, 3, bringing this section to the first rubber band and secure together using a second rubber band. Use a little hairspray to keep it in place. Brush over the fingers, spray, and let go. Go ahead and continue that on the entire hair. Finally, for the front section, go ahead and brush it straight up. Over your finger. hairspray. And you can even place a clip just to hold the style for a while you allow it to dry. Go ahead and put enough hairspray to keep this bend here. Okay. How's that? I'm going to place a small black rose in order to cover the rubber band. You can go ahead and use super glue or a hot glue gun. In this case, I'm using a hot glue gun. Okay, what are you thinking?
I think A++.
Good. I'm going